My name is Sean Burns. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Outlier. This is an exciting day for us. It's the first launch of our product to the general public. We have been in private beta since last year, so we do have paying customers, but this will be the first time we ever present our product to a public forum, so we're really excited to bring it to you. So a little bit about our company. It's almost 2 years old, founded in 2015. We're lucky to be backed by some of the best early stage venture investors in Silicon Valley, like First Round Capital, Homebrew, and Sousa Ventures. Doug and I and everybody on our team are former data analysts or data scientists. We've been, like you, the people who are in charge with trying to help companies make decisions using data. And in the last few years, I noticed something changing. I kept getting the same question over and over again, and it wasn't the questions that you'd expect. It wasn't, how do I set this up or how do I optimize this process? The question I kept getting was, Sean, what do I look for in my data? And after a while, I realized that we had hit a change, right? The growth of the cloud and the rise of big data meant that these companies were using dozens of cloud SaaS tools for their CRM, their customer support, their analytics. And the rise of big data meant those tools were storing everything they knew about a business forever. And so your customer support system, your analytics system, your payment system, they're becoming fountains of data. And I don't have to tell all you that, you know that very well. But these companies just weren't able to keep up with it. So they knew their revenue, they knew their KPIs. But what about the things underneath that, right? Revenue may be flat, but what if the composition of revenue was changing? Your user behavior might be flat, but what if your user demographics were changing underneath? And I realized that we'd reached a point where BI needed to change because we'd done such a good job in the last 15 to 20 years about bringing answers to people. Today, a modern organization can get any answer they want in seconds, usually, using state-of-the-art visualization tools. The problem has become the questions. How do you even know what to ask in the first place to find those hidden opportunities and those hidden problems? And that was the question that led me to found Outlier and has brought us on this journey of the last few years, is to build a new kind of tool that's focused on asking questions and helping you know what questions to ask, rather than the answers that you might already be able to find today. In short, Outlier is going to monitor all of your business data and let you know when unexpected changes are occurring. And we do that by plugging into your data wherever it is. We don't require you to have a centralized data warehouse necessarily. And it understands that data at the dimension level. It's looking at every dimension of every metric that you can possibly have, understanding your business cycles, understanding the trends and patterns, and letting you know when things are happening that you shouldn't have expected. Because what we found is those unexpected changes are where those questions always start. If things are as you expect them to be, you probably already know about them. You have a dashboard set up, you have something that's monitoring them. But what about the things that you can't expect in that high dimensionality of data? And that's where Outlier focuses. And all the dimensions and the permutations of those dimensions, that's where we find the value of what we can bring to the system. And as you can imagine, in all those dimensions, there's a lot. So in one way to think about Outlier is we're asking every possible question, pulling out what's important, the things that are going on that are most interesting. And every day we're delivering to our customers a curated stream of only the most interesting things. Because Outlier wouldn't be useful if every day we're sending you hundreds of updates. The value of Outlier is, can we boil that down to just a handful of insights that every day you can start your day looking at those and knowing what's interesting, what do I need to know, and what actions do I need to take? And so in some ways, this is different than most BI in that Outlier is asking all those questions, consolidating them into the most important, interesting insights, and bringing those to you. So in that way, it doesn't replace your existing BI tools. It doesn't replace your dashboard. It doesn't replace your data warehouse. In some ways, we're trying to make you better at using them by every day giving you a series of interesting questions to go to those tools and make use of them to answer. We need a new link in the value chain, which is going to give me those questions every day to make use of the rest of the value chain. The value, what we find with customers when they start using Outlier, breaks down in 3 ways. First is speed. Many of these problems that we're highlighting, you may find eventually anyway when they do hit your KPIs. But if we can help you find them earlier and faster, we're providing a lot of value, because whatever revenue you might lose between waiting for it to happen and solving it, we can head that off. That's great. In simplicity, again, we're trying to enable non-experts to use Outlier so that more people in the organization can use it. And it all boils down in the end to savings, because if we can increase revenue and reduce costs by finding these hidden opportunities and problems in your data, for these kinds of businesses we sell to, that can be a lot of money. We've built Outlier to look and feel different from things that people have seen before. And that's not an accident, it's on purpose. We want them to know that this is not just another data visualization tool, because it's not. We started in a world of centralized BI. We've moved to a world where the value chain is decomposing to multiple different best-of-breed solutions, and it's democratized across the organization. And the success of those two phases, we think, make tools like Outlier a necessity in business going forward, because the amount of data you have is only going to increase. And the ability to actually sort through it to find those interesting insights is an important part of business tomorrow. If we can identify those initial signals that something is going on and get you ahead of the curve, that's really exciting for us, because that's when we really do provide a lot of value and save you a lot of money.